If you're someone who live streams regularly, or maybe you use Zoom for work all the time, or you're going to remote job interviews or auditions, basically, if you're someone who gets in front of your computer, puts a camera in your face, and shows your image to the world via Zoom or other conferencing apps, you should have bought Ecamm Live yesterday. And I've been using Ecamm Live for a few years now, and it is changing my life as a content creator, so I'm so excited to show you some of its features today. So as you can see, I am looking at Ecamm Live right now, and let's get something out of the way. I paid for this with US American dollars. This is not a sponsored video, so let's actually talk about pricing really quickly. It's a free 14-day trial to use Ecamm Live. The standard version is about $135 for the entire year. And if you're using the Pro version, it's $270-ish for the entire year. Now, that comes out to about $22 a month. And I gotta tell you, the features I'm gonna show you today are Pro features. That's what I paid for. And they are totally worth it. You need to get into some of these Pro features because they're incredible. Let me show you what I mean. So like I said, I'm looking at Ecamm Live right now, and you can see from this little red bar at the top that it's recording. Ecamm Live doesn't just record, it also streams, and it completely gets rid of your need for applications like Restream that send your stream to multiple locations. Because if I open up the preferences here by clicking this little cog wheel, you'll see under the destinations section, I have 2 YouTube accounts here. I can send this stream simultaneously to 2 different YouTube accounts. If I click on add destination, I have Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. Really? Twitch, of course, Amazon. People are streaming to Amazon, apparently. Instagram Live, or any other broadcast stream. So there are so many options and so many stream channels included in Ecamm Live that you would have to pay for another service to stream to unless you get the Pro features here. It's just baked right in to the application. I absolutely love that. So right now we're just recording, we're not streaming, but we can do both at the same time. And that's important because if you are recording and something goes wrong with your stream, you can always post it later. So the best way to show off some of the features that Ecamm Live offers are by clicking these buttons over to the right here, because it opens up several windows that we're going to want to check out. Number one, we have our switcher, and this shows me every camera that's available. So I'm obviously not using my FaceTime camera on my MacBook Pro because it looks like this. This is the zoom view we're used to seeing, right? This is my Sony ZV-E10 plugged right into my computer. It looks amazing, but it's not the only camera available. I also have this Anchor camera right up top here that's about $50 that when I click on that, it shows me a overhead shot of my desk where I can see my mic, my computer, my mouse, my headphones over here, this Zoom L8, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. I have the ability to plug in multiple cameras, including if you're using a computer with Apple's new silicon chip, M1 or M2 processor, I can select to use my iPhone as a camera. Now watch what happens. If I turn it landscape mode, it immediately adjusts to put my face in the frame appropriately. But if I turn to portrait mode, it's still widescreen showing me portrait mode. Isn't that incredible? So now I'm showing off my desk. Let me just show you the Logitech MX Master 3. There's my water. It's not vodka. Or is it? It's not. It's water. I have the ability to just, move my camera around. There's the Anchor camera I'm using. Really, really nice. There's my shotgun mic. Long story short, I have the ability to see anything I want at all times using cameras that I purchase, or even just the camera that's already in my pocket, my iPhone. There's one trick I want to show you with this switcher. I'm going to go ahead and click this plus button to add a new placeholder camera. And I'm going to make it the Sony ZV-E10 as well. And I am going to click this little magic wand here that allows me to change the settings of the camera. Zoom and pan is turned on. I'm just going to zoom way in on my face, unfortunately. And let me just back out just a little bit. And now I have the ZV-E10 with this angle and with this angle. Same camera, 2 different angles, which is great. Zoomed in, cropped in really hard, or zoomed way out. So even with 1 or 2 cameras, you can have multiple looks that are really, really nice. I can also individually change the settings of this camera. Like, let's make it completely black and white. Double click to go back to 0. Change the tint. I don't like that. I don't like that. Go back to 0. I have editing options individually for each camera. Now, I could open up that switcher and switch between these different cameras, but you can actually create scenes using cameras, images, video, audio, all sorts of things. Right over here, I'm going to leave this scenes window open for a bit, but we're going to get into it a little bit later. Let's move down here to our overlays window. So within my screen here, I can add multiple overlays. For instance, I'm going to click add the screen share overlay. Click. Now, my desktop is an overlay. I can select an image to be an overlay. Well, how would I do that? Well, let me open my Finder window here, and I'm just going to go to .png. No, .png. And I'm just going to find this Patrick Murphy content creator. I'm going to drag it in here as an overlay. But I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And I can make these overlays appear whenever I want, simply by clicking the eyeball to shut it, clicking the eyeball to open it. Let's close down that. Let's close down the screen share. Goes away. So I have these overlays. So maybe you're performing a live stream and you want to show a donate now button or your Instagram handle. Go to Canva, create a real quick at Patrick Murphy Instagram animated something, and add it as one of your overlays that you can just populate onto the screen whenever you want. Next up, I have this button that opens up my sound levels. You can have multiple audio sources. For instance, if you're playing a movie, here's the level of that movie. Sound effects, if you're hosting an interview, which we will talk a little bit about a little bit later. But notice that I have the Zoom L8 driver. So I have this microphone, I have my overhead microphone, and they're all going into this Zoom L8 console over here, which is plugged in via USB to my MacBook Pro. Therefore, all of the audio, this mic and that mic, are collected into the Zoom, and it's sent into Ecamm Live. That's amazing. But if you want to go out and just buy a simple $99 USB mic like this Samson Q9U here, which is totally just matching my sweatshirt, sorry. Or if you want to go out and get like a Rode Wireless Go or anything, you have the ability to plug that right into your computer and it's seen as an audio source. Now, one thing that's really cool is if I play back, let's say, a movie, which I'm going to do right now, and I'm going to explain how I did this later. My name is Patrick, and thank you for joining us on Create, Post, Repeat, a podcast all about the content creation. Do you see that little message that's popped up right here? Zoom L8 driver muted or unmuted? When you play a movie or play another audio clip, it mutes your other mics for you. Now you can change that setting. I like leaving that on. So that's our sound levels window, which I will leave open. And then right below that, I have my editor for whatever camera I'm using, so camera effects, which I'm going to get rid of because I don't want to change any of those. Below that, I have sound effects. Now, you can load in your own sound effects, but imagine this. You're in the middle of a Zoom, you're leading a class, and your image looks great, Ecamm Live is performing well, and you want to say, "Great job, students." Having the ability to throw in those sound effects is really, really fun. Huge win. What do we play when we have a huge win? These are the sounds that are preloaded into Ecamm Live, but you can always add your own. Sound effects, super fun. Now below sound effects, I have comments and reactions. So when I am streaming to Facebook or YouTube, obviously I'm going to get comments. Those comments and reactions are shared here, but I'm just recording right now, so I don't see any comments or reactions pouring in. When a comment comes in, I also have the ability to add it to my stream, meaning I can just populate that comment like, "Patrick, you're doing a great job," or "This is a question I have that I'd love for you to address." And then after about 10 seconds, that comment just kind of dissolves away. So you're sharing your comments, you're showing your comments, you're seeing your comments and able to react to them right here within Ecamm Live. Then finally, we come to the interview portion. Now, this is huge. With Ecamm Live, the Pro version, you have the ability to have, I think, about 250 interview hours a year. I've never run out before. As you can see here, I'm still at 232 interview hours. But you were given, the last interview I had was with my friend Eric. You're given this little link. You send that link to someone. The link does not like Safari. It really likes Chrome. But when that interviewer comes on and accepts that link, they can use their computer, their microphone, their camera, whatever they want, and it will populate all of their information into Ecamm Live to either stream, record, or both. Now, when that interview recording happens, one beautiful thing about Ecamm Live is that it creates ISO recordings. Let me show you what I mean. Record isolated video tracks. In addition to normal recording, record selected video sources to a separate file. So that means that camera A, your guest, and separate audio files are recorded for your interview. And you can have multiple people being interviewed. And when that interview is done, let me show you what it looks like. I'm gonna open a Finder. Inside of my Documents folder, I have an Ecamm Live Recordings folder. And let me just go to one of my interviews here. This is an interview I did with Wesley Taylor, very famous Broadway film, television actor. And you can see I have my main mic. That's my voice. I have the guest mic.
Would that be better? It's just...
That's his voice. I have camera A, which is me. I have camera C, which is my FaceTime camera, which I record as a backup. Then I have my program file, my Ecamm Live recording, where I take Wesley's image and my image, and I put them side by side. And then I have singular shot of
it's
just Wesley. Now, the way I did that was by clicking on, let's say, here's camera A. If I click this plus button by camera B, it puts it side by side with me. So when he shows up as a guest, he's on my left or my right. And when I press record, I'm getting my program feed. I'm getting camera A, camera B, camera C, all separate audio files. It's incredible. If you're a podcaster, this is another service. So streaming to multiple platforms, we'd have to go out and pay for Restream.io, or hosting interviews, we'd have to pay for Riverside. But Ecamm in the Pro version has all of this built in for you.
Wow.
Before we get into creating scenes, I want to talk about one thing that's a huge feature for me. When I hop onto a Zoom call, a Microsoft Teams call, a Google Meet call, immediately someone will mention how good I sound, how good I look. And I have all of these features available to me in Ecamm Live that they're seeing because Ecamm Live is collecting all my audio, collecting all my video, and it has this in the Pro version, virtual cam and virtual mic. So it collects all of this information and will send it to other apps. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm gonna open Zoom. So I'm gonna open my preferences in Zoom. I'm gonna go to video, and you can see that the Ecamm Live virtual camera is being shown. So if I switch over here to this image in Ecamm Live, that's what they're seeing. If I play that video of me and Wesley, hey everyone, my name is Patrick, and thank you for joining us on Create, Post, Repeat, a podcast. That's what they're seeing. And then I go to audio, and in audio, test mic, Ecamm Live virtual mic is what they're seeing here, or sorry, hearing here as their audio source. One of the best features that Ecamm Live offers is the ability to not just create amazing things inside of Ecamm to stream to Facebook Live and YouTube, but it sends this virtual audio and virtual camera to any app you're using. It's amazing. This is why I look better than everyone else in all of my video calls. It's amazing.
How's bragging camp going?
So finally, you want to build a bit of a program with what you're creating in Ecamm. And that's why I have this scenes window open over here. So whenever I log on to Zoom or any other video call situation, I see, or they see, I should say, this image. So instead of just popping up and like trying to turn on my mic, when someone logs onto a coaching call or something with me, they see this, Patrick Murphy, content creator. My website is right there. I created this really quickly in Canva. I should probably update it. Then I click the play button by my second scene, which is the ZVE10. Hey, how are you? And I'm in the call looking and sounding better than they do, if I'm being honest. Now, what if I wanted to create some scenes like a movie or a tutorial? Well, as you can see, I've got this scene here that I'm going to call Wesley Video. And that's where I've been pushing play to. Hey everyone, my name is Patrick, and thank you for joining us on Create, Play This Video. How on earth did I create that? Well, let me go ahead and delete that scene, and I'm going to create it again for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the plus sign, new scene, and it just selects a camera for me, and I'm going to select video. And then I'm going to go here to, once again, my Ecamm Live folder. And here I find the guest Wesley video right here. But here's the program file. I'm going to drag and drop it right there.
Would that be better? It's just,
Now, there's a couple of selections I can make here. Number one, notice it's put me into an overlay, which I can edit this, but I'm going to just remove it for now. What do I do when this video starts? Start from the video beginning, or when the scene starts, I should say. Start video from the last position. What about when the video ends? Do nothing, loop video, go to the next scene, in broadcast. So maybe you're just playing a video for your live stream or recording. And so you would hop on and say, welcome, I'm playing this video. Thanks so much for being here. You push the video scene and then select end the broadcast when this is over if you would like. So you have the ability to drag and drop media files into a scene. Speaking of which, I can also show my desktop on a scene. So I'm going to click the plus sign, and this new scene I'm going to call desktop or screen, which I've spelled wrong, and I refuse to correct it. Right up here, you see these three buttons: camera, video, screen. Now, when you're sharing your screen, you can select that you want to share the current application or entire screen, which then backs out and shows you just everything on your screen. Once again, it's put an overlay here, which I'm going to remove. Now, I do like having my face being shown when sharing my screen, showing someone how to do something. So I'm going to go to overlays, new camera overlay, camera A, boom, and there's me. And a lot of times I like to make this by clicking the pencil. Just a nice little circle. And here I am on screen showing someone how to use the Finder or the desktop or whatever, right? So what you have inside of Ecamm Live is a complete package. Everything you need to do a podcast interview using the interview feature, to record a live stream where you're sharing your screen and doing a tutorial right inside of this screen share feature. You even have inside of these scenes the ability to, I'm going to click the plus sign, and this is going to be called iPhone. And I'm going to select a camera, which is my iPhone. And now I'm just moving through my iPhone. This is great with, and I'm going to put an overlay of camera A right here. And this is great to show people how to use the phone, show them what apps you're using. Or for an iPad, if you show your iPad in Ecamm Live, it's really great for like drawing on the screen if you want to show people like a bulleted list of ideas that you're brainstorming together. Isn't this app incredible? If you are someone who is auditioning, meeting, leading, training virtually, you're going to look like every other person that logs into that Zoom with you, unless you upgrade your system using an application like this. And yeah, you can go out there and use OBS for absolutely free. But this is a regular app where the learning curve is super, super low. Figuring out how to do things on OBS or on your own without using Ecamm Live, I mean, it's just harder. So again, this is something I should have gotten way earlier. It's something I use all the time. I love the interview feature, and I'm not sponsored. I bought this with real money, but you should click the link down in the description and do the exact same thing, because for creators and streamers, this is a game changer.